All right, I get a lot of questions from folks about what project management software they should use to keep track of a current project, or maybe to manage their team in general. Manage the day-to-day tasks that come in. And I often recommend Jira, and I'm going to walk through some Jira basics and show you how you could create a project to manage your team's work. So let's start by going into Jira Software. I've just got a free trial here to kind of have a clean slate. Once you've signed up and created your account, you just go to Projects. And I've created one project, but we'll walk through how to create one from scratch. You'll see all projects here in your organization. Sometimes it'll be a team specific, so you'll see something like QA, right? Or you'll see something specific to a project like ERP implementation, right? So I think you'll see a hodgepodge of projects typically in your organization. In ours, we just have one. So we'll hit Create Project. It takes you to a wizard where you get to pick your project type. This is all just kind of predefining the values that you'll have inside your project, but you can change them at any time. So this is not a step that you need to overthink. I typically use Scrum. You can see that was the last project that I created was Scrum. Kanban is just the basic board. Scrum's going to add features like a backlog and sprint planning, and bug tracking is just it'll give you a couple additional statuses and is going to be a little more pared down to just a basic list of bugs that you're trying to squash. So let's just pick Scrum. That's the most common for how I operate. It gives you some more information about that. I'm not going to read it. We'll just hit Use Template. This is kind of an interesting dilemma here, or question as you're thinking about your project. I always pick select a team managed project as opposed to a company managed project. The team managed project means that you get to set your own permissions, you get to control access, you have total control over your board and your workflow, and it's awesome. If you go company managed, it just, in my opinion, adds clutter, adds overhead. You've got to get your admin involved to deal with permissions. It's basically like legacy Jira versus like new Jira. So I'm always encouraging people to just use this team managed approach. It works great in our organization, and I'm sure it'll work great for yours. You want to give it a name. Let's just call it Project X. So in this scenario, we're going to treat this like we've got a project specific with like a start and an end. I also use this for a team, and maybe we can talk about that in another video, how we operate. But this is how we're going to do it. The key, this is all your issues. That's every like ticket that goes onto your board or in your backlog. Will carry with it this key. It's the first few letters of every ticket. And so that's how you can distinguish a ticket in one project versus a ticket in another project. And I shouldn't say ticket, they're called issues in Jira. So one issue from the other, but issue always sounds negative. So I oftentimes refer to them as ticket. But anyway, so let's say like we'll go Proj X or something like that. If you use Confluence, you could connect like a Confluence site or something like that to your project. But for now, we'll just leave it like that. We'll hit Create Project. And that's it from the initial project setup. You're ready to go. You can, at any point, like I mentioned, change your project settings if you wanted to add or remove certain features. So you see right here, we could turn on or off other features. Once we start to get in here and realize like, oh, I don't use that, I can come in here and turn it off or turn it on as needed. So that's how you get things started. I'm going to do another video where we kind of walk through in detail how to manage your work and workload in Jira, but let's start with this. Hope this was helpful. Thanks.